Berlin Hauptbahnhof is the main railway station in Berlin, Germany. It came into full operation 2 days after a ceremonial opening on May 26, 2006. It is located on the site of the historic Lehrter Bahnhof, and until it opened as a main-line station, it was a stop on the Berlin S-Bahn suburban railway temporarily named Berlin Hauptbahnhof Lehrter Bahnhof. The station is operated by DB Station&Service, a subsidiary of Deutsche Bahn AG, and is classified as a Category 1 station, one of 21 in Germany and 4 in Berlin, the others being Berlin Gesundbrunnen, Berlin Saarland DKREUZ and Berlin Ostbahnhof. Lehrter Bahnhof opened in 1871 as the terminus of the railway linking Berlin with Lehrte, near Hanover, which later became Germany's most important east-west main line. In 1882, with the completion of the Stadtbahn, just north of the station, a smaller interchange station called Lehrter Stadtbahnhof was opened to provide connections with the new line. This station later became part of the Berlin S-Bahn. In 1884, after the closure of nearby Hamburger Bahnhof, Lehrter Bahnhof became the terminus for trains to and from Hamburg. Following heavy damage during World War II, limited services to the main station were resumed, but then suspended in 1951. In 1957, with the railways to West Berlin under the control of East Germany, Lehrter Bahnhof was demolished, but Lehrter Stadtbahnhof continued as a stop on the S-Bahn. In 1987, it was extensively renovated to commemorate Berlin's 750th anniversary. After German reunification, it was decided to improve Berlin's railway network by constructing a new north-south main line, to supplement the east-west Stadtbahn. Lehrter Stadtbahnhof was considered to be the logical location for a new central station. History Lehrter Bahnhof from 1871 to 1958 Between 1868 and 1871, a 239-kilometer railway was built between Hanover and Berlin via Lehrte by the Magdeburg-Halberstadt Currency DTE Railway Company. Lehrter Bahnhof was constructed as the Berlin terminus. It was adjacent to Hamburger Bahnhof, just outside what was then Berlin's boundary at the Humboldthafen port on the River Spree. Its architects were Alfred Lent, Berthold Scholz, and Gottlieb Henri Lapierre. In contrast to earlier railway stations, built with brick four-section adders, and in keeping with then current trends, Lehrter Bahnhof was designed in the French neo-Renaissance style. Its originally planned stone four-section aid was replaced with glazed tiles to save money. With its magnificent architecture, the station was known as a palace among stations. The train shed was 188 meters long and 38 meters wide. Its roof was a long barrel vault with steel supports. As was common for the period, the station was divided into an arrival side on the west, and a departure side on the east. Originally there were 5 tracks, 4 of which ended at the side and the central platform. The 5th track had no platform and served as a turnaround for the locomotives. At the turn of the century this track was removed to accommodate the widening of the central platform. Although the front of the building was ornate and had a grand entrance, most passengers entered and left via the east side, where horse-drawn carriages were able to stop. In 1882 the Metropolitan Railway, predecessor of the S-Bahn, began service along 2 of the Stadtbahn tracks. Long-distance traffic commenced in 1884 along the other 2. With the expansion of Lehrter Bahnhof, it was able to take over the functions of Hamburger Bahnhof. A 300m connector line was built. On October 14, 1884, traffic towards Hamburg, northeast Germany, and Scandinavia was diverted to Lehrter Bahnhof, and Hamburger Bahnhof closed. In 1886, the Berlin-Lehrte Railway, and with it Lehrter Bahnhof, was nationalized and subsequently came under the control of the Prussian State Railways. Even in its early years, the line was known as one of the country's fastest. In 1872, express trains could attain a speed of 90 km per hour. December 19, 1932 marked the maiden voyage of the famous diesel-powered Fliegende Hamburger, which whisked passengers to Hamburg at 160 km per hour. In the Second World War the station was severely damaged. After the war, the shell was repaired to the point where it could be used temporarily. However, the postwar division of Germany spelled the end for most of West Berlin's mainline stations. On August 28, 1951, the final train departed from Lehrter Bahnhof, headed for the Wustermark and Norn. On July 9, 1957 demolition began, and on April 22, 1958 the main entrance was blown up. The biggest challenge in the demolition of the station was to preserve the viaducts of the Stadtbahn, which ran directly overhead. Work was completed in the summer of 1959. Lehrter Stadtbahnhof from 1882 to 2002 . On May 15, 1882, Lehrter Stadtbahnhof opened, situated on the Stadtbahn viaduct at the northern end of Lehrter Bahnhof concourse. This four-track station on the Stadtbahn was used mainly by suburban trains. The main purpose of the Stadtbahn was to connect central areas of Berlin with the Lehrter Bahnhof, the Schlesische Bahnhof termini with nearby Charlottenburg, then still a separate city. It was also providing an east-west railway connection across the center of Berlin. Because of the steadily increasing traffic to Lehrter Stadtbahnhof and its location on a bridge crossing the north end of Lehrter Bahnhof, elaborate changes were made to the track structure in 1912 and again in 1929. On December 1, 1930, the newly electrified suburban trains were given the designation S-Bahn, making the Lehrter Stadtbahnhof an S-Bahnhof. During the war, in April 1943 the station was bombed by the Polish sabotage and diversionary squad Zagrelin. The Stadtbahnhof survived WWII intact, but came to lose its pre-war significance due to the division of Berlin. With Lehrter Bahnhof closed, the Stadtbahnhof served only a relatively underpopulated area near the border with East Berlin. It was the final stop in West Berlin. The next station, Berlin Friedrichstraße, was in the Soviet zone, although it served as a stop on both the West Berlin S and U-Bahn systems. These parts of the station were sealed off and inaccessible to East Berliners. The S-Bahn, like the main lines leading to West Berlin, was run by the East German Railway, the Deutsche Reichsbahn. The 1961 construction of the Berlin Wall further isolated the station, and led to a boycott of the S-Bahn in West Berlin that lasted until the 1980s, when operation of the West Berlin S-Bahn lines was transferred to the West Berlin Transit Authority, the BVG. Berliner Euro unregistered trademark S 750-year anniversary celebration in 1987 saw the station, now under West Berlin control, renovated at a cost of about $10 million. Because it had largely been preserved in its original condition, it became a listed building. However, in 2002, Lehrter Stadtbahnhof was demolished to make way for the new central station, despite its listed status. The argument was that Bellevue and Hackescher Markt stations were architecturally similar. Hackescher Markt, in former East Berlin, had been restored in 1994 and 1996, after German reunification. Planning the new station soon after the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989. City planners began work on a transport plan for reunified Berlin. One element of this became the Pilzkonzept, in which a new north-south railway line intersecting with the Stadtbahn was to be constructed. The name derived from the shape formed by the new line and existing lines, which vaguely resembles a mushroom. In June 1992 the federal government decided that the new station should be built on the site of Lehrter Bahnhof. While close to the center of Berlin and government buildings, the area was still not heavily populated. The following year, a design competition for the project was held, which was won by the Hamburg architecture firm Gerken, Magen Partners. The design called for 5 levels. The highest level, on a bridge 10 meters above street level, was to have platforms for both long-distance and S-Bahn trains on the existing Stadtbahn. The lowest level, 15 meters underground, was to have platforms served by new tunnels to Potsdamer Platz under the Spree and the Tiergarten, forming a new north-south line running to the northern part of the S-Bahn ring around central Berlin. Platforms for the planned extension to U-Bahn Line 5 were also included, as were platforms for the cancelled Transrapid Maglev train. Building the new station. The building work took place in several stages. In 1995 the construction of the Tiergarten tunnels began, and this work was finished in 2005 with the completion of the last station tunnel. The tunnels provide 4 tubes for long-distance and regional services and 2 tubes in a separate alignment for the U-Bahn, in addition to a road tunnel ventilated by a 60 meters high tower completed in 2004. During its construction, the course of the Spree had to be diverted. Water leaks in the tunnels caused over 1 year's delay to the construction work. Construction of the bridges for the new S-Bahn route began in 2001. These needed to span not only the entire length of the station, but also the adjacent Humboldthafen port, and are 450 meters long. Because of the alignment of the S-Bahn, they are curved, and each pair of tracks has a separate bridge. Bridges of this type had never been built before, and represented a special challenge for the Egyptian engineer Hani Azur, the chief construction engineer since 2001. The main station hall is spanned by a similarly curved glass roof with a surface area of about 85 meters by 120 meters, which was installed in February 2002. A photovoltaic system was integrated into the glass surface. The steel and glass construction was a difficult task for the engineers, particularly as the glass roofs were shortened by approximately 100 meters to speed up construction. Over the first weekend of July 2002, the bridges and main station hall were brought into service so that traffic could be diverted onto the new alignment. The old Lehrter Stadtbahnhof S-Bahn station was closed and rapidly demolished to make way for further new building. On September 9, 2002, the station was renamed Berlin Hauptbahnhof Lehrter Bahnhof. The main concourse, supported by 2 towers, provides roughly 44,000 square meters of commercial space. Construction of the towers began in 2005. On 2 separate weekends, July 29 and August 13, 2005, structural frames were installed, supporting the structure above the east-west tracks. This was built using a new technique. The frames, each weighing 1250 t, were lowered by steel cables at a rate of 6 meters per hour. The remaining 20 mm gap between the bow frames upon completion of the lowering process was subsequently closed. During summer 2003, a survey commissioned by Peter Strider, Berlin Senator for City Development and Traffic, and Deutsche Bahn Director Hartmut Miedorn was conducted among Berlin residents with the intention of selecting a name for the station. Of the 3 possibilities listed on the survey, the majority of participants opted for Lehrter Bahnhof. Nevertheless, the station remained Berlin Hauptbahnhof Lehrter Bahnhof, an option that was not listed. It was decided early in 2005 that the station would be renamed Berlin Hauptbahnhof on the date of its opening, May 28, 2006, to avoid confusing rail passengers. On the same day, Berlin Perpestraße station, which was rebuilt as the city's second largest station, opened officially under its new name, Berlin Südkreuz DKREUZ, similar to the existing Ostkreuz and Westkreuz stations. It is also on the new north-south route. Although it was intended to open a further station as Berlin Nahkreuz, the name Berlin Gesundbrunnen was retained for what became Berlin's 4th biggest railway station for commuter and long-distance trains, located in a more northern part of Berlin, where the Circle and North-South line of the S-Bahn cross each other. In 2005, the bridging segments, which cross over the roof of the station, were lowered. This was the first time this unique method to build later office rooms was applied. The architect Meinhard von Gerken filed a complaint against Deutsche Bahn in October 2005 after Deutsche Bahn altered the station construction timeline without proper authority. The complaint was upheld in late 2006. There may therefore be further construction on the station in the future. In addition, Deutsche Bahn decided to implement a slightly different version of the Pilzkonzept by running intercity trains through the new Tiergarten tunnels rather than via the Stadtbahn. This move was unpopular for its effect on Berlin's 2 previous main stations. Bahnhof Berlin Zoologischer Garten was downgraded to a regional railway station, and the number of main-line services to Berlin Ostbahnhof was drastically reduced. Opening ceremony. On May 26, 2006, the station was ceremonially opened by Chancellor Angela Merkel, who arrived together with Transport Minister Wolfgang Tiefensee in a specially chartered intercity express from Leipzig. A symphony of light was performed immediately following the dedication. Riemann and BAP performed at the station, and there were also events at the other news stations, Gesundbrunnen, Potsdamer Platz and Saar-Quarter DKREUZ. Berlin Hauptbahnhof officially went into operation on May 28, 2006. The opening ceremony was marred by an attack by a drunken 16-year-old wielding a knife, who stabbed members of the public leaving the ceremony. 41 people were wounded, 6 seriously, before the youth was arrested. According to police, the youth says he cannot remember his act of violence and is still denying it. One of the first stabbing victims was HIV positive, leading to worries that other victims may have been infected, although this did not prove to be the case. The youth was charged with attempted murder, and was sentenced to 7 years in prison for attempted manslaughter and 33 cases in 2007. Since opening . On January 18, 2007, 2 steel beams of the Southwest 4 Section 8 were torn loose during European windstorm Kirill. One of them, an 8.4 meters long beam weighing 1.35 tons, dropped 40 meters onto a staircase below, and the other impacted and damaged a third beam. The station had suffered some flooding and had been evacuated due to the complete cancellation of train service in Germany. Consequently, nobody was injured and the station was cleared for reopening the following day. The beams had not been welded or bolted in place but laid down like shelves in a bookcase. In the next days extra lugs were welded to the remaining beams to secure them in place and the station declared stormproof on January 23. The U-55 opened in August 2009, connecting the Hauptbahnhof with the Brandenburger Tor station. The rail link to current Berlin's Paragraphenfeld Airport is to be reorganized for its replacement with a new Berlin-Brandenburg Airport. The airport express line will maintain a travel time of 30 minutes. The rail bridge construction leading into the upper level of the station forms a curve, and some of the screws holding it in place have loosened. This will require a $25 million reconstruction which involves the closure of the upper-level rail tracks during a 3-month period in summer 2015. Operational usage. The upper level of the station has 6 tracks served by 3 island platforms. The lower level has 8 tracks served by 4 island platforms for mainline trains, plus a further island platform for the Berlin U-Bahn. There is no rail connection between the upper and lower level track in the station area. 1,800 trains call at the station per day and the daily number of passengers is estimated to be at 350,000. As of 2011, the station is used by Intercity Express, Intercity, Interregional Express, Regional Express, Regional Bahn and S-Bahn trains. The station also hosts several international trains, and the most distant cities reached are Novosibirsk and Astana, with an express named Sibirjak. The upper part of the station, with the east-west tracks, is part of the Berlin Stadtbahn, with trains leading to locations like Hanover or Cologne. The subterranean station, which lies in the north-south Tiergarten Tunnel, offers long-distance services to Hamburg, Leipzig or Munich. The U-Bahn platforms are presently served only by the U-55. Which is not connected to the rest of the U-Bahn network. This line is operated as a single-track shuttle, and only one of the 2 platform tracks is currently used. The other is behind a metal fence, mounted in the ground. Construction of a 2.2 km connection to Line U5 commenced in April 2010 and is expected to be completed in 2017. Train services. The station is served by the following service, S. Intercity Express Services Car Paragraph LN, Wuppertal, Hamm, Hanover, Berlin, Intercity Express Services Saar-Quarter Düsseldorf, Essen, Dortmund, Hamm, Hanover, Berlin, Intercity Express Services Oldenburg, Bremen, Hanover, Berlin, Intercity Express Services Berlin, Braunschweig, Gar Paragraph Tingen, Kassel, Frankfurt, Mannheim, Stuttgart, Munich, Intercity Express Services Berlin, Braunschweig, Gar Paragraph Tingen, Kassel, Frankfurt, Mannheim, Freiburg, Basel, Interlaken, Intercity Express Services Berlin, Halle, Jena, Nuremberg, Munich, Intercity Express Services Hamburg, Berliner Euro Leipzig, Jena, now 1/4 RNBERG, Munich, Intercity Express Services Copenhagen, La 1/4 Beck, Hamburg, Berlin, Intercity Express Services Aarhus, Padborg, Flensburg, Hamburg, Berlin, Intercity Services Binz, Stralsund, Eberswalde, Berlin, Dresden, Prague, Intercity Services Hamburg, Berlin, Dresden, Prague, Brno, Bratislava, Budapest, Intercity Services Berlin Euro Leipzig, Saalfeld, now 1/4 RNBERG, Augsburg, Munich, Intercity Services Binz, Stralsund, Eberswalde, Berlin, Halle, Erfurt, Fulda, Frankfurt, Intercity Services Norddeutsch, Emden, Oldenburg, Bremen, Hanover, Braunschweig, Magdeburg, Brandenburg, Berlin, Cottbus, Intercity Services Amsterdam, Amersfoort, Hengelo, Osnabrück 1/4 CK, Hanover, Berlin, Intercity Services Berlin, Frankfurt, Potsdam Warsaw, Intercity Services Berlin, Frankfurt, Potsdam Gdańsk SK, Gdynia, Regional Services RE1 Magdeburg Euro Brandenburg Euro Potsdam Euro Berlin Euro Erkner Euro Far 1/4 Rustenwalde Euro Frankfurt, Regional Services RE2 Wismar Euro Schuren Euro Wittenberg Euro Norn Euro Berlin Euro La 1/4 BBEN Euro Cottbus, Regional Services RE3 Stralsund, Greifswald, Passwalk, Angermar 1/4 NDE, Berlin, Elsterwerda, Regional Services RE3 Schwert, Angermar 1/4 NDE, Berlin, WA 1/4 NSDORF Volstadt, Regional Services RE4 Rafino, Wustermark, Berlin, Ludwigslade, JA 1/4 Terburg, Regional Services RE5 Rostock, Neustrelitz, Berlin, JA 1/4 Terburg, Lutherstadt Wittenberg, Regional Services RE5 Stralsund, Neustrelitz, Berlin, JA 1/4 Terburg. Falkenberg, Regional Services RE7 Dessau Euro Bad Belzig Euro Mike Hendorf Euro Berlin Euro Berlinische Paragraphenfeld Flughafen Euro WA 1/4 NSDORF Volstadt, Local Services AB10 Norne Euro Falkensee Euro Berlin, Local Services AB14 Norne Euro Falkensee Euro Berlin Euro Berlinische Paragraphenfeld Flughafen Euro Car Paragraph Nix Wusterhausen Euro Senftenberg, Peak Hour Services AB21 Berlin Friedrichstraße Euro Berlin Euro Potsdam Euro Goma Euro Wustermark, Peak Hour Services AB22 Berlin Friedrichstraße Euro Berlin A. Euro Potsdam Euro Goma Euro Simon Euro Berlinische Paragraphenfeld Flughafen. See also, List of central stations, railway stations in Berlin, Berliner Euro Palermo Railway Axis. References. External links, current departure time in Berlin HBF. Deutsche Bahn. Retrieved December 27, 2013. Station profile Berlin Hauptbahnhof, official DB site. Berlin Central Station am Washingtonplatz Berlin Germany a Euro interactive panorama in front of the station, Berlin Central Station at Structure, in pictures, Berlin's new station, BBC pictures of the station and opening, era paragraph FFNUNG Hauptbahnhof Berlin, pictures and videos of the opening.